You've tamed the voices in your head. You've put your courage to the test. Laid all your doubts to rest.
Hi everyone, and welcome from your Intuition Queen to a new episode of Intuitive Queens podcast. As you know, I have decided to start this podcast because I wanted to share stories with you. And now this year I made this podcast live. So you can join us, me and my guests, live on my Instagram every week. You can sign up to the newsletter so you can always be updated when the podcast comes out, what kind of guests will be on the podcast, and just to be updated about my newsletter. I don't write much, but sometimes there are things that I want you to know, and I always communicate with my community on my email list and my Facebook group first, and then everyone else, because I want to give you as much as I can. Feel free to give back to me and my guests, leaving us a review. Let me know what you think. I know you send me a lot of messages, but if you want to leave me a review on my podcast on iTunes, that would be so amazing, and I will appreciate it so much. All right, well, it's time to go and dig into the new episode. Enjoy it. Hi everyone, and welcome from your Intuition Queen to a new episode of Intuitive Queens podcast. I have started this podcast sharing stories of other amazing women that have turned their life around because I wanted to inspire you. I wanted to let you know that you're not alone. I wanted to let you know that maybe someone has gone through something similar or what you're going through and they have managed to change their life. And I want you to know that you can do this too. So I hope this podcast is inspire you. And if you feel it is giving you hope or inspire you to be better, feel free to leave me a review and let me know what you think. That will be the best way for you to give back to me and my guests, sharing our stories and telling you a little bit more about how to move forward in your life. All right, so let's dig into today's episode. I get asked a lot of times, what color should I wear, should I use to do this for this situation? So today I have decided to speak about a specific color. So today's title is how to connect the energy of green to calm your nervous system, tune into your heart, and set healthy boundaries. So this is a topic that is not necessarily for someone that has green in their chart. It's something that we all struggle with, which is not being able to feel calm within ourselves, maybe because we're surrounded by people and situations that keep us in that frenzy mode. Maybe if you're struggling with money, or if you're struggling with something and that causes you to feel fear, your nervous system, it's not in a calm place. And when you're not in a calm place, it's very difficult to make the right decisions, because you will have a tendency to make decisions based on your fear. And with that also comes the people that you choose to be surrounded by. So this is why I'm talking to you about green today. And I will start to do a series of podcast episodes for each color, because they are so important. They all have specific energies that can help you. You can either have it in your chart, and if you have it in your chart, it's about understanding how that colors either stop you or can help you. Or if you don't have it in your chart, it's about understanding how to use that color. We all can use different kind of colors depending on what's going on with us. Obviously, when you do a color reading and you figure out what are your personal colors, that colors will help you to tune into your path, basically, so that it's more helpful for you, because you will feel more aligned with your energy when you tune into your colors. For example, today I wanted to wear something green, but I don't have any winter clothes that are green, and it's a bit chilly today, and I just really couldn't wear the shirt that I wanted to wear, which is bright green. And so I decided to wear this beautiful orange jumper, which is one of my colors, and I feel super comfortable with it, and it feels this is my energy. So this is what happens when you do have a color reading and color therapy session, which is the exact same thing. And you figure out your colors, and then you tune into their colors. They can help you to really tune into yourself and listen to your intuition a little bit more, because colors have energies. They have positive and negative energies, and when you know what are your colors, then you also know what are your negative and positive tendencies, and so it's easier for you to get back on track and reconnect to yourself. So if you're interested to know more about color therapy, you want to book a session, you just have to go to my website, theintuitionqueen.com, and you can find all the information there. Just check the show notes, everything is there. All right. So if you've been following me, this is something that I say all the time, which is that we are energy. So we are we are energies, and therefore that's why the energy of color can affect us in a good or in a bad way, depending on what's going on in our lives. So depending on what kind of emotions you have in that moment, certain colors can be beneficial for you or not. For example, let's say that you're really angry and something happened to you, you got triggered by someone, and you're just really angry. Well, using colors like red or maybe yellow are not going to be exactly the right choice for you, because they will overstimulate that kind of emotions. You might want to use colors like purple or blue, because they tend to help you to calm down, or green, for example, because that's the color of love. And you might feel like you need to get back to your center and love yourself a little bit more, maybe forgive the other person if that's even possible at that time. So we don't realize, but oftentimes our emotions are heightened by colors. And it's very important to understand yourself. So when you understand yourself, it's easier for you to also figure out what colors can help you feel better. Because we know we always go through the emotions, whatever emotions, from the lowest to the highest. And how we react to things can be different if we tune into our personal energies, so also our personal colors, but also if we are we are aware what we are surrounded by, and we make an effort. Colors can help you to communicate something. And if you choose the right color, for example, when you go and have a meeting, well, then your energy is just going to be completely different than if you just wear something because you have to. It's just the way you will feel, it's going to be so much different. You're going to feel so much more confident. And this is something you can do every day. Just tune into yourself and ask yourself, what color do I need today? Colors can be used in your home. You can eat it. There are so many different ways. I use it in two main ways. I use it in a lot of different ways, but the ones that I feel are the most important are two. So the personal one, which is the one related to your date of birth. So when I say come and have a color therapy session, the first color therapy session will be about understanding what are your energies. And they give you a map of your life path, from when you're born to your life mission. So when you know your energies, it's just so important to understand that, because it also gives you a confirmation, or maybe something that you had a feeling about yourself but you weren't sure. And also makes you understand, oh, okay, right, so I have this tendency of maybe wanting to work alone, because I don't know, I have right in my chart, but I need to make sure that I use this color properly, and I tune in into another color when I working with a team. Things like this. It's just really helpful to learn so much more about yourself. I'm such a fan of understanding myself on a deeper level, emotionally, energetically, and I think this is such a powerful way to help ourselves move forward in our life and attract whatever it is that we want. And then I also use colors in an intuitive way. So the personal way, it's obviously based on the date of birth. And so if you have a color therapy session with me, We will go through your personal colors. But then when I tune into your colors and based on your questions, what happens is that I am able to channel messages for you because I tune into your energy. And so everything can happen. I can feel colors, I can see different colors you might need to work with, or I just gonna feel emotions and things that are stuck in your energy field that are asking you to move forward. And that's probably the reason why you cannot do certain things. And that's probably the reason why you came to me to have a session with me. So colors are everywhere, and understanding their energies is so important because you can really direct yourself in so many beautiful ways, and that can help you to really be attuned to nature, to your life on a bigger scale. It's not just about you and the people that you live with or you surround yourself with, but it's a lot of other things and everything. Your environment is so important. So if you surround yourself with colors that are attuned to your energy and make you feel good, everything can change. And even if you're going through a moment that is a bit difficult, you can always go back to your personal energy. That can help you to feel a little bit better, maybe to calm yourself down if you're feeling a little bit restless. There is always something that we can do to shift our energy in so many different ways, and for me, color is one of those. All right, let's go dig into the topic of today. So today I want to talk to you about green. Green is associated with Mother Nature, plants, grass, trees, and all of that. And it's a color that conveys freshness and calm. And at least for me, it's a lot related to summer, because the way I see it, all the leaves are green when it's summer, and the trees are full of leaves, and it's just so beautiful, and the colors are so bright. But for you, it can mean so many different things. So just see how that resonates with you. But I'm pretty sure that the feeling that you will have when you think about green, it's calmness, it's a freshness. So see how that resonates with you. But you can see that it's a flowing energy. At least that's how I feel like green is for me. And being the color of love, it's a very feminine energy, and you can feel that flow, that nurture energy. So in color therapy, green is associated with unconditional love. If you have this color in your chart, unconditional love is your life lesson, which means that you will learn unconditional love with the people that you meet. So the people that you will meet in your life, the good and the bad, they will have a lesson for you in order for you to learn to love yourself unconditionally. It's a little bit of a tricky energy, because this energy means that you will need to face some challenges when you meet people. So because this is also the color of relationships, this means that all the relationships that you will have in your life, that are long relationship, short relationships, and I'm talking about all kind of relationships, so family, friends, co-workers, romantic relationships, everyone that will play a part in your life for a short amount of time, could be a week, could be a couple of days, could be years, but all of those people are going to mirror something back to you in order for you to learn to love yourself unconditionally. And why is this? This is so because green is that kind of color that loves to be surrounded by people. And it's the color where if you have green in your chart, you are that kind of person that is always surrounded by a lot of people, and you're always helping those people. So you're probably someone that has a lot of friends, and people always rely on you. And it doesn't matter in which position the color green is. This is just an energy that you have. If you have it in the first position, at the beginning of your chart, This is very strong energy. If you have it towards the end, it's something more towards like a lesson that you need to learn, but the energy is always the same. So this is something that you will have this tendency to be there for everyone and help everybody and be surrounded by a lot of people. And this is an amazing thing, but can be tricky, because this, and at least so far, with all my clients that have this energy in their chart, there is a tendency to be a people pleaser, because you want to be liked by people. And so in order to avoid disappointing them or not liking you, you do everything for them. And this means that way too often you forget to put yourself first, and you forget to put your needs first. And so this can be very detrimental, because you will override yourself in order to give something to someone else. And it's a very generous thing, but people pleasing, it's just a coping mechanism that comes from being hurt when you were a child. So if you feel this is something that you do, you don't necessarily need to have green in your chart. We all have coping mechanism, and maybe we'll all have some sort of people pleasing somewhere in our lives, in some areas. Some people are just like that. But if you have green in your color chart, then this is an energy that is pretty strong within you. And it's important that you learn to understand who you can rely on, who you can't, but most importantly, how to love yourself unconditionally. So this is your lesson if you are green in your chart. It's something that you absolutely need to learn in order for you to move forward in your life and attract everything that you want and create the life that you really desire. Because otherwise you're always going to be kind of controlled by other people. People will understand this energy, especially we all have that person or that friend that is a little bit manipulative. And if we're not aware, this can become complicated, and we can end up being manipulated by people that see our good heart, right? So if you know this is an energy that you have in your chart, I really recommend you to understand and feel into it, because your heart is the place where you can get all the answers. So just tune into your feelings and understand, how do you feel when you're surrounded by certain people? There are certain people that will make you feel super good, and there are certain people that you will feel drained after you've been with them. They might be people that complain all the time, people that judge you all the time. And oftentimes those people are family. So there is nothing wrong with you putting on boundaries in order to protect yourself and also to take care of yourself. This is one of the first lessons for you. It's to learn to take care of yourself, to then learn to love yourself unconditionally. And when you learn to give yourself everything that you're now looking outside of yourself, maybe you're looking at those people to give you something that you don't feel you have. So when you learn to give that to yourself, that's when you have learned the lesson. And that's when your energy can become even more powerful, because you're really, really tuned into your energy and you're in alignment. Because alignment simply means being in that place where you know who you are, you understand how you work on a emotional, mental, and energetic way, and you also are able to understand what's going on with you, around you, so you can feel, and you're very tuned in. So that means that your intuition is strong, and therefore it will be easier for you to understand when people come to you because they just love you, you love them, or they need something from you. And at that point you can understand if that's something that you want to do, like help someone. I mean, we have friends and people that ask us for help, but sometimes it can happen that you have people that constantly ask you for help. you're like, okay, but enough. I mean, like every time I need you, you're not there, or situations like this, right? So it's just about tuning into yourself and be like, okay, how does this situation affect me? How does this person affect me? And what do I want to do? What does my soul want? What does my heart want? What does my intuition want me to do? And just really tune into yourself and make sure that you set boundaries with the people that it's necessary to set boundaries with. And then you also learn to take care of yourself first, because when you don't take care of yourself, then it's not easy. You can't take care of other people. And so it's a way to help you balance your energies, because when your energies are balanced, then love and anything else that you want just flow. It's the energy of abundance. When we are in balance, things happen to us, and there is this flow of abundance. And you meet people that might be, I don't know, great friends or become something for you, partners. You can open up partnerships, or simply just opportunities just come to you. But when you are unbalanced because you're giving too much and you're not receiving, there is not a balance. You're cutting off what is the abundance, whatever abundance means for you. I'm talking on a general level, just to give you an idea, but abundance can be everything. Can be you wanting love, you wanting money, you wanting freedom. Think about your own way of describing abundance. And so in order for us to attract that, we need to be balanced. We need to have our own energy balance. And in order to do that, we really need to put ourselves first, because that's absolutely not selfish. It's important. It's crucial. If we don't start from ourselves, it's really going to be difficult to be there for others and create the life that we want, because we will always be pushed around by other people trying to control us. And if you have green in your chart, this is the thing for you. So just tune in. If you don't know what is your chart and what colors you have, just think about what I'm saying and see how you feel. And then if you're interested in having a color chart, you can always get in touch with me. Just go to my website, theintuitionqueen.com. So what can you do if you have green in your chart and this energy is particularly strong for you? So you need to pay attention to your body. That's the first thing. Your body always knows what's right and what's wrong. And so when I say your body, I mean your nervous system, your energy field. We're made of energy. So I'm sure it has happened to you that maybe you met someone and you just didn't feel that person had a great energy, or you just didn't feel a pull to this person. There was just something that maybe you felt like this person was distant, or it just didn't click, right? That's your body and your energy field telling you this person, it's not right for you. Not necessarily because it's a bad person, it just because your energy clashes with the energy of this person. And so it will be complicated and too much effort and really draining to be around this person. So really tune into your body, your heart. They all know what's good for you, and trust it. Trust it. This is another thing. Trust it, because you are powerful, and this is important. So because what you need to remember is that because you're love, you have a tendency to want to be there for everybody, to want to just spread love, which is amazing. But again, this can go against you. And so learn to love yourself, learn to take care of yourself, and learn to notice how you behave. If your parents, if your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friend, your coworker ask you to do something, before you say yes, check in with you. And if you're doing that out of guilt, out of feeling afraid of disappointing them, well, that's probably not the right way for you to do it. That's probably something you shouldn't be doing. You know, your body, your fears are there to tell you something. So if you feel guilty, if you feel ashamed, if you just feel resistance, well, that's your body telling you no. That's your body telling you no. I had decided to spend my Sunday afternoon watching a movie or reading a book or just staying by myself. And now those people are asking me to do something, to come over, for example, and I just don't feel like it. But you might say yes because you don't want to feel like you're disappointing them or something. Well, then that's your body. Your body will always tell you what's the right thing. And for you, it's extremely important to understand that love, unconditional love, it's something you need to give to yourself first. It's a lesson for everybody, but for you that have this color in particular in your chart, if you know you have it, it's really, really important to understand. And in here, what I will ask you is to ask yourself, what is your conception of love? Because I think that with our society and our family and our religions, the concept of love has not necessarily been taught us in the perfect way, in the actual way. And so for you to understand exactly what it means to love and be loved would be very important. It's a great way to journal about it and to understand what you really think about love, because then from there you can also understand why maybe you don't have boundaries. What I have learned in doing color therapy sessions, especially working with people that have this color in their chart, for the majority of them, um, the love they've received from their parents and other people throughout their life has always been conditional. And so they have this energy that is very much unconditional, but it's always an energy that it's to give, and they don't really necessarily understand how to receive this unconditional love. And I said that before, it's because you need to learn. This is a lesson that you need to learn, and so you will learn this lesson throughout the people that you meet in your life, but it's something that you need to learn to give to yourself first. So understanding what does love mean for you, and how do you think you can have love, and how does love come for you, it's important because that's your starting point, and then from there you can make adjustments. um, this is something that it's extremely important for someone that has green in their chart, but it can be used by everybody, because this energy, even if you don't have it in your chart, maybe you have issues with boundaries as well. And I think we all need to learn to love and understand ourselves before we can actually love and understand our people. And so this is a general lesson for all of us, but as I said, everybody's different, so we might have different layers. We might think differently, but this is extremely important for someone that has green in their chart. But this message, I'm pretty sure, will resonate with so many of other people that don't necessarily have it. And again, as I was explaining to you earlier, maybe this energy is in your energy field because you need to work with it. So for example, you might not have green in your color chart, but green might be something that pops up in your energy field, especially if you're looking for love, and maybe you have been having situations where the people that you met hurt you, and so you're a bit like in that situations when you do want love, but you're afraid of it. And so that's something that might pop up, this color might pop up in your energy field if you do a color therapy session, because the clear message is where you're not giving yourself love, right? And that's what's been shown to you by all of the people that you're meeting, right? Maybe you just don't have self-esteem for yourself. Maybe you just don't feel you're good enough. Maybe you don't feel worthy, and green is a color that can pop up in your energy for this reason. And maybe you don't feel worthy of I don't know, a promotion or something else. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's related to love or to relationships. It can be the relationship with yourself, right? And therefore that will touch upon many different areas of your life. So see how this resonates with you and really check in with yourself. So how can you use green to calm down your nervous system? As I said before, green is the color of relationship, and we're always constantly triggered by how people talk to us and treat us. And obviously, there is so much that can be said about being triggered, but obviously, people are the thing are the ones that trigger us the most, right? And so it's important to understand why those people trigger us, but also are those people necessary in our life? Can we just make sure that we are surrounded by people that lift us up and support us and love us, rather than people that try to put us down? Sometimes we just don't realize. Sometimes we might have a group of friends, and there is, in this group of friends, there is the judgy one, and it's difficult to release this person when you're having, when you have a group of friends that are always together, right? So find your own ways to understand this about the people that you're surrounded by, and then take action step by step. It doesn't have to be all in one go, but just make sure to check in that you feel comfortable. So in Reiki, green is associated with the heart chakra, and that's where we feel our emotions. And obviously, that's where we get heartaches, but also the happy feeling. And so our nervous system works in different ways. When we get hurt, it is triggered differently, and therefore we get lower emotion. When we're super happy, our nervous system is all over the place because we're crazy happy. Have you ever had that situations where something happened to you and you were super happy that you couldn't sleep? And that's when our nervous system is all over the place because of happiness. But it could also be, we could feel also so down and so worried and so afraid and so just hurt that we also cannot sleep for that reason. And so those are the two extremes of how our nervous system might not be balanced, right? And so what you can do, I would suggest, take something that it's green and tune into that color. And this works for people that have green in their chart or not, it doesn't matter. But maybe wear it, maybe surround yourself with plants, buy a blanket, whatever works for you, candles, anything, and tune into that color and see how that makes you feel. How do you feel in your body? What emotions are coming through, if there are any? Just stay with that energy for a little bit and figure that out. Because if you're feeling something, maybe around your heart or maybe around your solar plexus or somewhere else in your body, there is an information for you there, and something needs to be released. If you're feeling okay, that's fine. So in doing that, try to wear the color, eat the color, use the color as much as you can. This is the way for you to understand about yourself, as I said earlier, but also to tune into the color. So if you want to learn the lesson of unconditional love and figure things out about yourself, eating the color. So I mean, there are a lot of veggies that are green. Wearing the color, painting with that color, you can be as creative as you want, as long as you tune into to that color. And maybe you can just journal about it. How do you feel every single day? Because it's not going to be the same. If you just broken up after a good relationship, you're heartbroken, every day it's going to be different. But this can help you, right? It can help you to tune into yourself as well. Make sure you write down and understand what emotions do you associate with green when you're doing this exercise, because as I said, it might be a different day every day. And also remember to think about where in your body you feel that emotion, because that is going to be super helpful. Now, after you've done this exercise, and again, I will suggest you journal every single day about what happened when you tuned into the color. As the next step, what you can do, especially if you want to kind of restructure your circle of friends and people that you're surrounded by. If you're not sure about who makes you feel good and who makes you feel bad, maybe you've not been able to realize that before. Maybe you have a feeling about it, but you're not sure. Think about that person and tune into their energy. What do you feel? If you think about that person, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel drained? Does that make you feel judged? Does that make you feel really good? That's your way to understand. And then you can make a list and then check and see what happens when you meet that person, right? After you've done that, tune into the color green and see how that your energy changes if it does. So for example, let's say you tune into the energy of this person that is a friend of a friend that you met like a few months ago, and your friend says that this person is amazing, but every time you meet this person, you just don't feel that amazingness. If anything, you feel like quite drained at the end of the day, okay? But you might have this thing where you're like, oh, I only met this person a few times. Maybe I was tired. My friend says she's amazing. Why would I doubt her, right? My friend is amazing, so there is no reason for her not to have amazing people around her. You know, it happens. And so we get into this self-doubt situation where we trust something else but not ourselves. Then that's when you can do this exercise. Tune into this person, imagine this person, and try to figure out what you feel in your body. And then tune into the energy of green and see if what changes in your body, what changes in your energy, and see if you feel better, if you feel worse. And you can you can understand how this affects you. Everything, it's everything that happens in our body, in our energy, in our emotions, it's really precious information. And if you don't want to forget, I would suggest you write it down. I journal a lot, so I always suggest people to journal. And I think this is really powerful because let's say you do this exercise for 10 days, then you can always go back and see how you have evolved or how things, your emotions have evolved, what you have discovered. And sometimes, you know, when we are in the rush of writing down things we are feeling, we don't necessarily then remember everything. But when you go back and you read them, you're like, oh my God, yes, I can see that now, right? So try to use green intentionally. You can do a meditation. If you're feeling restless and your nervous system is really out of place, really imagine yourself to be in a bubble of green light and create your own meditation. And you can really stay in that energy or go for a walk in a park if it's not too cold. Right now here it's gray and it's cold, so it's not really appealing to go out, but find your own ways to attune to this energy and give that love to yourself that you need in order for you to be surrounded by the right people, attract the right opportunities, and feel good. And always tune into yourself. That's the best way. See what happens when you do this exercise. There might be things that will pop through for you that means you need to do some more inner work. And if this happens, don't freak out. Please don't freak out. Inner work, it's not so difficult. It can be challenging and intense, but I promise you, if you do a little bit of inner work, then I am sure that you will feel freer, you will feel better about yourself. And using color is the most amazing thing. You can use today it's about using green. But if while you're doing the exercises, other colors come through to you, please do use them. Do ask yourself, because that's your intuition telling you, okay, you need to integrate green with purple maybe, or with gold, or whatever other color might be the right one for you. And that's not only something that you can know if you tune into your intuition, or you can always come and have a session with me. Even if you had the first session where we figure out your color, you can always come back. We can always work with your personal energies and other energies that might be in your energy field. All right, well, this is it for today. I hope this episode has been helpful. I'd love to hear from you, your comments, if you have any about the color green and boundaries, love, self-love, unconditional love, relationships. I'm always very curious to know what's going on with you. You can always find me on my website if you want to check out my stories or learn more about what I do, book a session. Just go to theintuitionqueen.com and you can have an intuitive session, a color therapy reading, and oracle card sessions. If you want me to speak at your events, in your podcast, you can also just email me at hello@theintuitionqueen.com. And you can always find me on Instagram, where I have a lot of colorful posts about what's the meaning of the color, how you can use it. And you can join my Facebook group, Discover Your True Colors. It's a small community that is growing, and where I share more tips every day, and where you can learn more about intuition and colors and anything else that is related to energy and emotional healing. All right, I hope you have enjoyed this. Sign up to my newsletter. Make sure you join me live. I will be live in a couple of weeks. And
your heart is full and wanting more. Your
Ciao.
future's at the door.